Hey beautiful people, on today's episode of So Quaint, I'm going to be showing you how to draft a pattern for and how to sew a curved waistband. Step 1 is to measure the waist of the pants, shorts, or skirt that you want to create the curved waistband for, plus an additional ½ inch for allowance on both ends. Step 2 is to divide this measurement by 2 and use it to draw a rectangle. The length should be 3 inches. This ruler is linked in my description box down below, and it comes in very handy when drafting patterns. Step 3 is to find the halfway point of this rectangle and make a mark. Measure and mark 5/8 of an inch away from those marks and then connect them like this. The left side of this pattern will become the front of the waistband and the right side of the pattern will become the back of the waistband. On the left side, draw an extended line 3 inches long. Connect it to the line in the middle like this. Find the halfway point on both lines and make a mark. Step 7 is to measure and mark 3/16 of an inch inwards from this line and 3/16 of an inch outwards from this line. Use a French curve to create a subtle curve that blends the lines like this. If you don't have a French curve, you can find that linked in my description as well. I don't think there's much of an alternative for this, and I think if you're going to be taking pattern drafting seriously, you should definitely get yourself a French curve and a number of rulers that will make your work much more accurate. With your ruler at a right angle with the new lines, draw a straight line like this. Measure your waistband to make sure that it adds up to the initial measurement, and it's okay if it's just a little bit more. And by a little bit, I mean no more than ½ of an inch. The next step is to cut this from the pattern paper and label it well. I made a mistake and put the fold symbol on this end, but the fold symbol should actually be on the other end. That means that that part of the pattern should be placed on a fold when you're cutting out your waistband. As it relates to cutting out the waistband, you want to cut 2 pieces right sides together from your desired fabric and 2 pieces of fusible interfacing. I have my fabric folded in half and I have 2 layers here. So when I cut this pattern, I'm going to be getting 2 layers for my curved waistband. Press the fusible interfacing onto the wrong side of those waistband pieces. You want to make sure that the bumpy side of the fusible interfacing is on the wrong side, just in case you're not sure how to use fusible interfacing. The next step is to put the waistband pieces right sides together and sew along the top edge with a 1/2 inch seam allowance. Turn the allowance to one side and stitch. This is called understitching. Now that is the wrong side of the waistband, and I actually did this the other way around, so you're going to notice that my waistband is going to have some extra top stitching on it, but please just do what I'm saying instead of what you see on my waistband. Fold the waistband in half and mark the center with a notch. You can also use a chalk or a pin. The next step is to fold the raw edge of the wrong side inwards by 1/2 inch and press it flat like this, following each of the curves. On the other end, trim away 1/4 inch from the remaining raw edges. The next step is to fold the waistline of the skirt, shorts, or pants in half and mark the center in the same way. Match the center of both pieces right sides together and then pin out to both ends. Sew 1/2 inch away from the raw edge. Fold the waistband right sides together in the opposite direction like this and stitch close to your fly extension or your zipper. Cut away the excess in the corner of the waistband, turn it over to the right side, and to complete the waistband, stitch in the ditch. If you have any questions, leave those in the comments down below. If this was helpful, share it with a sewing friend and subscribe to the Quaint channel for more tutorials.